You're
There you
sideways.
are.
Joan.
Can you turn, Fran, you're upside down. Can you turn yourself around?
No, you're upside down. You're sideways.
Wait a minute.
Oh, you look so good, Joan, with your makeup and your jewelry and everything. And here I am, Miss Plain Fran.
Oh, cut it out, Fran. You're not plain Fran, even when you don't have makeup on. All right, we're gonna do this because I can.
Now we're facing the same way.
And would you mind doing that for a half an hour at least? I mean, would it hurt? Look at her. I mean, you look good from any angle, kiddo. Anyway, let's start this meeting. And
Can't you straighten yourself out?
we'll kind of
Stand on your head, you'll be straight.
when we upload it to YouTube. Well, I hope to God that we'll be able to fix this because we got everything else going. So
You want to ask your son how to straighten yourself out?
what?
Do you want to ask your son-in-law how to straighten yourself out if that's possible?
Yes. Hold on just 1 second. I don't know what the hell I do with my phone. Hold on, I've got to get my phone before it starts ringing. No, we're not going to start yet. Hold on.
Because I don't need that phone anymore. Well, give me the phone back.
Do me a favor, Fran. Call me on my phone with your other phone. I got to find my freaking phone.
You want me to call you on your cell phone?
Please.
Give me your cell phone number because I don't have it in my house phone.
I don't want to give it over. Oh, well, we can cut this out. Okay.
All right, I'm going to call you. Bye. Bye.
Oh,
Joan, you have to hang up your house phone so I can use it.
Fran.
What?
Fran. Fran, forget the whole show. This is better than the show because my phone is connected to where I want it so we can have this meeting. Okay. All right.
And I couldn't use my home phone to call you because you're on your home phone.
Turn off your phone, your regular landline, please.
Yeah, it's turned off. My regular line is turned off.
All right, we're ready to go.
I'm going to give this phone to Jesse so it doesn't ring enough when we're busy.
Forget the rest of the damn meeting. This has been perfect.
Is this all being recorded?
Yes, dear. I hope you didn't say anything that I have to scratch out, but if I don't, that's good too.
Okay.
Yes, Fran, I'm going to have to learn how to talk to you on your side. So here we go. We have today with us Fran Ruben, who is a retired teacher and taught at Calabash for how many years?
I think 14,
14 years. Fran is, believe it or not, 76 years old, and she gave me permission to tell you. Look at that beautiful woman, 76 years old. Interviewing her is me, Joan Kushell, who is going to be 80 years old. Yes, look at that beautiful woman. Okay, now, Fran, in the past, what were you involved with before you came of this age?
I was teaching elementary school. I was involved with my boys with sports, baseball, basketball, soccer.
What about your volunteer work that you're very famous for?
The volunteer work I did while I was teaching, I volunteered for an organization called Shoes That Fit. It's a national organization, and as individuals, we have to raise money. We are assigned a 5th grade class at a school in a socioeconomically disadvantaged area. And we have to raise the money ourselves. And we go and we buy brand new sneakers and socks to give to each 5th grader at whatever school we're assigned to.
That's phenomenal, Fran.
I did
And
that.
you also did some summer programs for kids at no charge.
I did that.
Just
I
shortly,
did
can
that.
you tell me what that included, please?
I did that in New Jersey when I was teaching in New Jersey, where I started teaching. And it was in Staten Island, New York. Again, it was with a low-income area school. And part of the time I was on salary, but a lot of my own free time was on my own time. And we worked in the summer to keep the kids off the streets. We did art and music and theater and all sorts of activities with them on a school site.
Okay.
Mostly.
So you've given of yourself for a very long time. I know that you volunteered for these programs, and I also know that you volunteered at Calabash.
No, Calabash is where I taught.
At Pomelo, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
That was after you retired. You volunteered as an
Correct.
assistant. Can you shortly tell us what you help these kids with? And you've done it now. You're doing it now. What is it that you've helped these kids with?
Well, I volunteer in kindergarten in a specific classroom, and I teach math to all the children in the morning in small group instruction. And then in the afternoons, I worked with some of the children that needed assistance in preparation for reading and reading readiness. In addition to that, I did whatever else I needed to do to give the teachers more time to be with the students in the classroom.
Right.
A copy.
I think that's phenomenal. I mean, you just you give of yourself wherever you can. Fran, I know you've been married to Jesse for, being that we're friends, okay?
Mhm.
That you've been married for Jesse, I believe you said 53 years. Is that correct?
That's right.
You have 2 children, Mike and Scott.
Mhm.
Tell me a little about your grandchildren, please.
Oh, my grandchildren are the light of my life. I remember when my children got married and they were talking about having children. And I said, no children. I'm not old enough for grandchildren. No grandchildren yet. I said, I'm not there. And then they had grandchildren. And I said, why did you wait so long?
Sounds very familiar, Fran.
Yes.
I mean, for me. Go ahead, honey. Tell me about, I know that you have 4 grandchildren. Is that correct?
Yes.
You have a pair of twins, a boy and a girl.
Right.
Which son do they belong to?
They belong to my younger son, Scott. And
do you find that they are competitive with one another, protective with one another? What do you see in them that are usual things with twins?
Well, they are not really competitive because their interest levels are both so different. And they are very protective of each other on campus, on their school site. I know my granddaughter's allergic to nuts, and Mason will always say to her, don't eat that. It might have nuts in it. So they are protective of each other.
Is that what kept me away from her, because she's allergic to nuts? I mean, you might as well tell me now.
Without a doubt. But
Okay.
Without a doubt. That's why, that's without a doubt. But as I said, they are protective of each other. They play together. They're good friends with each other, which is really nice to see. They don't really argue that much with each other. I mean, they have the typical sibling, but that's about it.
Well, that is super. During the time of COVID right now, you told me at one time that you were a big jigsaw puzzle fan. Mm-hmm. Does this keep you busy? And do you also include your grandchildren in these jigsaw puzzles?
Yes, I'm doing puzzles, constantly doing 1,000-piece puzzles. I'm always ordering them online. And another lady friend and myself, we switch the puzzles back and forth. My grandchildren are really into puzzles also. I got them into puzzles. I used to buy puzzles, and I still do buy puzzles for them to do, and they all love puzzles. As a matter of fact, my older son's family for Father's Day, for the last 2 years, made jigsaw puzzles of scenes from when my husband was a youth, or a ute, as they say in one of the movies. And they're framed and they're hanging on the wall in the office in our house.
Incredible. You also have gotten your children into reading, even more so during COVID. Do you want to tell us what you do? What do you do? Buy them various books?
Yeah, I found a really great website online where you can buy used books and sometimes almost new books for amazing prices. And I am always buying them books. My 4 of them are avid readers. My older sons are readers. And I loved buying them books. To me, sitting down and reading a book is the epitome of the best.
Okay. Now, in reference to what you're saying, I think that's fantastic because you know where our heads go as grandparents. We're not used to doing these types of gifts that are available now, and that's the technical gifts for kids. Anytime I ask for a list of what can I get you for your birthday, I have all technical things, and it's it's amazing. I am learning. I'm trying to learn as much as I can technically. And guess, you know, I'm sure this happens to you too. My grandkids are the ones that teach me, plus my sons and daughter-in-laws, but mainly my grandkids. I don't know. I know you're a very happily married lady, Fran. You take care of your husband. Do you want to talk at all about what has been going on with Jesse, or would you rather put that aside and we can go on to other things?
Let's go on to other things. That's kind of personal.
Okay, but he is a funny, wonderful man.
Oh my God. I couldn't ask for a better husband. He shows me his love 24/7. Even when I sneeze, no matter what room he's in the house, he'll yell, "I love you," every time I sneeze.
Oh my.
He's just a wonderful human being, and I'm very lucky to
Well,
be.
that's 2 ways, Fran. You've been a wonderful wife. We won't go into the personal aspects of anything because I don't want to do that with people who are very into what they're doing and want to keep it to themselves. That's perfectly okay. Fran, being a retired teacher, I'm sure that you must have other things that you are doing now with the grandkids, taking care of them as far as the Zoom classes at school. You must, being a retired teacher, you must be able to help them very much with these new Zoom classes because they are confusing in the beginning. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, yes. In the beginning, with my youngest grandchild, he's 7. I was at his house pretty much for almost 2 weeks every day in the room with him, observing and watching and assisting him when he was organizing and if he had questions, and making sure that the work he was doing was at his level. And then I was also helping my twins in the evenings when they were doing their asynchronous work, which is individual work, and helping them with math. My granddaughter with her math development skills, and I was working with my grandson, the other twin, with his writing and his reading skill development. And
Well, I'll tell you something, Fran. They're very lucky to have you as a grandmom, being a retired teacher and having the knowledge of how to have them follow their instructions and to help them out as you have done.
well, I feel very lucky that my children value my knowledge and allow me the opportunity to work with their children, my grandchildren.
Absolutely, absolutely. Fran, before I ask you the 5 questions that'll be asked to everyone that comes on at the end, is there a question that you would like to ask me?
Yeah. What made you decide to do this type of YouTube I call it interview.
Okay, good question. I'll tell you. Uh, all my kids have been in show business one way or another. And I was in I myself was in a show called Off Your Rockers, and it was a Betty White produced show. It was 5 months after my husband passed away that I was able to get, that I was available for the show. And went for an audition, was accepted, and for a season I was on, and I loved it. I'm all my kids are involved in comedy, and believe it or not, I'm a crazy nut, love it. When we get together, we laugh our heads off. It's either one way or the other. Either we're telling each other, forget it, and having argument, or we're hysterical. But most of the time we laugh. Being in COVID and being alone, because I am a widow since I'm 69 years old, and as I said, I'm going to be 80 years old, I wanted to feel some part of the entertainment business, and to make myself feel a little worthwhile besides my volunteer things that I also do. So I came up with this idea. I asked my kids, usually they poo-poo a lot of my ideas, but they thought it was great, to interview people my age or younger from 70 up. And I am having such a good time with this. By the way, Fran, you know the name of the program, which I should have stated right from the beginning, is very apropos, I would think, because the name of it is G.A.S. And as you know, it means, I told you what the acronym is?
Right. Yes, gray and sexy.
Gray and sexy, you've got.
And I think that's perfect.
I think that's the truth. I don't think we've lost any of that. If we were gray, if we were with colored hair before and sexy, we can bring it right into old age, even though these kids think that once you are over the age of 60, you're a goner. It's not true.
Not
is
true
it?
at all. Not true at all.
Not at all. I appreciate that question. Now I'm going to ask you the 5 questions that I ask everybody that comes on for the interview.
Okay.
What has life taught you now that you wish you knew when you were younger, Fran?
Good question. I think I have learned over time that I wasn't aware of growing up, the importance of family and the degree and the depth of love that parents have for their children and their grandchildren. I never really understood the depth and the complexity of parental love for their children, and also the importance of being surrounded by your family. Your family is your cocoon against the world.
You're absolutely right.
And growing up as a youngster, and even more so even as a teenager, when you're your rebellious stage, I didn't understand it, so I couldn't appreciate it. And now I appreciate what I should have appreciated then.
Well, some people never do, Fran, so you're one ahead of a lot of people, believe me. I feel the same way you do. Great answer to that question. I love it. And the second question I'm going to ask you, in the last 10 years, what new belief or behavior has most improved your life?
Well, behavior-wise, I would say I've always been a believer of giving back to the community. And through my life, I was always so busy with my own family community that I was never able to expand the giving back to the community. So I've been doing a lot of volunteer work in the community, and it has opened my eyes up to so many different types of human beings that are out there, and how you have to learn to interact at different levels. And I just enjoy so much the giving of myself to help other people. And I think that's the most important thing that I've been able to accomplish, being retired and That's it. That's what I find is most rewarding for my life. Because when I retired, it was like, okay, this part of my life is over. Now what am I going to do next?
Okay, when you feel, Fran, when you feel overwhelmed or unfocused, what do you do to make you feel you feel better? Let's just put it easily like
Well,
that.
before the virus, when I would be overwhelmed,
When
I
you say for the virus, you mean
before the
COVID?
coronavirus, before the
Okay,
coronavirus, when I
okay.
would get stressed or overwhelmed because my life was so busy, I had no time to go to the bathroom half of the time, and I was trying to do four things at once. So I
Right.
would get stressed and I would get overloaded, overwhelmed, and I would say to my husband, I'm out of here. And I would get in the car and I would go to the mall and go shopping. Well,
I yeah.
I can't do that anymore. So now I've gone back in time to my younger days and I've been doing jigsaw puzzles, 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles almost every day. And I find when I'm doing a puzzle, my whole being relaxes and I'm focusing on the picture in the puzzle. And it takes my mind off of everything and I
Well,
relax.
something, I'll tell you something, Fran. That takes a heck of a lot of patience. That's one thing I really not into, and not because I don't want to, but I don't believe I have the patience you do. I think that even being a teacher takes a lot of patience. So you
Well,
have that characteristic
you know what I'll do? I'll bring you some of the toddler puzzles my kids used to do when they were 4. They go very quick.
like um, Fran. Do you still want to be friends with me at all? I mean, if you do, don't bring those puzzles
Oh,
because you will find one piece in each room in about 5 minutes.
well, then
Uh,
I won't
just
bring you
be
any.
yourself. You're always a pleasure to be with.
Thank you.
Um,
I love being with you. You spice up my day.
Thank you, honey.
But
Uh,
besides jigsaw puzzles, I love to read, and I have a Kindle, I have the iPad, but I'm old fashioned. I love sitting in the corner on my couch with a book. I love a book, and
yes,
I
I'm the
do read
same
a
way.
lot now.
I'm the same way. As a matter of fact, I bought Kindle. I never use it. I also like holding a book and reading it. And if I have to go back a page or two, it's easy for me.
Exactly, I'm the same.
Being not a techie. Anyway, what other profession, Fran, would you have chosen if it wasn't for teaching?
Well, I wanted to join the Peace Corps when I was in college,
Whoa.
and my father said no. Jewish girls don't belong to the Peace Corps. So
Wow.
I said I'll convert. And so I never joined the Peace Corps. But other than that, I don't think there was anything else I ever really wanted to do except be a teacher. I always loved working with children. And even when I was in high school in the summers, I worked in a day camp. I just loved working with children. It's just been my thing.
Yes, well, the past 2 years, Fran, I've been with an organization called Born to Act.
Mhm.
These are Down syndrome and autistic children. And because of what I'm doing now, I haven't been with them for a couple of months, and I'm going back this Saturday. And I did not, while I was off, I didn't feel fulfilled. And now I'm very excited about going back.
I know
Now,
exactly how you feel.
yes, exactly. My last question to you, okay? What would you like to be remembered for, Fran?
Oh, wow. Um, what would I like to be remembered for? Probably kindness, loving and caring, and all my volunteer work. And hopefully, my grandchildren will think fondly of me and remember all the fun times we had together and all the interesting things we've done together. But I think my giving back to the community and always being there when someone needed help for something, I would always be jumping in to do whatever I could to help, which is pretty much why all my volunteer work. And I also volunteer at the Platte Ranch Library in the used bookstore and on their board of directors. And it's just enjoyable to share with other people.
So this is what you would like to be remembered for,
Yeah,
and I
mine-
these are all wonderful things to be remembered
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
And I want to tell you this, I will remember this interview because I enjoyed it so much. You're so easy to talk to. And knowing you for the past 8 years, and we did meet at Brandeis, I believe,
Yes.
was an exceptional addition to my life. And I hope we continue to be friends even after this interview. And you're a wonderful.
That's what, 2.5 days to coordinate?
Oh, that was a secret.
Oh, well, now it's not a secret anymore.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
But it was fun.
I learned, my son-in-law helped me the first time I did an interview, and he says, I'm going to leave you alone the next time you do it. And I said, no way. He said, you'll see. And it looks like that I was able to do it, and I feel very good. And I thank my son-in-law for that. And it's good seeing you, Fran. Hope to see you again soon. By the way, would you do this interview again? Would you come back?
Definitely, definitely. But next time, let's make it so I don't have to go like this so that you look straight.
Oh, absolutely. Because I know that that could affect your back and parts of your body, which you need for Jessie. Anyway, take care of yourself, my love, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, you take care.
We'll
do this again.
Thanks for being with us on G.A.S.
Okay, take care. Love you. Bye.